Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Yashodanandana Vrajajanaranja Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yashodanandana Vrajajanaranja Yamuna Tira Vanachari We should have the round this way. And then I should ideally be kept horizontal. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Nirottam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayadeve Nashtakaya Shabhakresha Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttamashloke Bhakti Bhagavati Nishtiki. So we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5, Chapter 17, The Descent of River Ganges, text number 21. Yam Mahurasya Sthiti Janma Samyamam Tribir Vihinam Yam Anantam Vishayaha Naveda Siddharthamiva Kvachit Sthitam Bhumandalam Murda Sahasradhamasu Yam Ahurasya Sthiti Janma Samyamam Tribir Vihinam Yam Anantam Vishayaha Naveda Siddharthamiva Kvachit Sthitam Bhumandalam Murda Sahasradhamasu Yam Ahurasya Sthiti Janma Samyamam Tribir Vihinam Yam Anantam Vishayaha Naveda Siddharthamiva Kvachit Sthitam Bhumandalam Murda Sahasradhamasu
Yamahurasya Sthiti Janma Samyamam Trivihinam Yamanantarishya Naveda Siddhartham Iva Kvachit Sthitam Bhumandalam Murda Sahasradhamasu Yamahurasya Sthiti Janma Samyamam Trivirvihinam Yamanantarishya Naveda Siddhartham Iva Kvachit Sthitam Bhumandalam Murda Sahasradhamasu
Okay, what were meaning? Yam, whom, Ahu, they said, Asya, of this material world, Sthiti, the maintenance, Janma, creation, Samyamam, annihilation, Trivihi, these three, Vihinam, without, Yam, which, Anantam, unlimited, Rishayaha, all the great sages, no, not, Veda, feels, Siddha Artham, a mustard seed, Iva, like, Kvachit, where, Sthitam, situated, Bhumandalam, the universe, Murda Sahasradhamasu, on the hundreds and thousands of hoots of the Lord.
On the hundreds and thousands of souls of the Lord.
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Shri Prabhupada. Jai Shri Prabhupada. Lord Shiva continued, all the great sages accept the Lord as the source of creation, maintenance and destruction, although He actually has nothing to do with these activities. Therefore, the Lord is called unlimited. Although the Lord in His incarnation as Shesha holds all the universes on His hoods, each universe feels no heavier than a mustard seed to Him. Therefore, what person desiring perfection will not worship the Lord? Purport. The incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead known as Shesha or Ananta has unlimited strength, fame, wealth, knowledge, beauty and renunciation. As described in this verse, Ananta's strength is so great that the innumerable universes rest on his hoods. He has the bodily features of a snake with thousands of hoods, and since his strength is unlimited, all the universes resting on his hoods feel no heavier than the mustard seeds. We can just imagine how insignificant a mustard seed is on the head of a serpent. In this connection, the reader is referred to Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Leela, chapter 5, verses 117 to 125. There it is stated, Lord Vishnu's incarnation as serpentine Anantasesh Naga supports all universes on his hoods. By our calculation, a universe may be very, very heavy, but because the Lord is Ananta, unlimited, he feels the weight to be no heavier than a mustard seed. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupaha Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Gurava Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Krishnaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschate Deshakarine Vancha Kalpatarobhyascha Kripa Sindhu Pevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Kridayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Gauraprishe Namaha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So here Lord Shiva's prayers are continuing. So like Lord Shiva's worshipable deity is Sankarshana, and an expansion of Sankarshana is Lord Anantasesha. So he is glorifying this particular personality. Here it is mentioned that all great sages accept the Lord as the source of creation, maintenance and destruction. So this is, sometimes devotees also make a short form saying that CMD, like this is standard, this one of all prayers, offered by all the great personalities. So they mention this one, creation, maintenance and destruction is done by him. So also here another important aspect is mentioned, although he actually has nothing to do with these activities. So basically these are like activities in relation to matter, because there is no question of creation and there is no question of destruction in the spiritual world. The spiritual world, it is only eternal performance of pastimes of the Lord. So whenever the aspect of creation and destruction comes, immediately we should understand it is pertaining to the material activities or material world. No, for Lord there is no material activities. For Lord everything is spiritual activity only. And for Lord it is also only one energy, is Maya. So when it is employed to forget, make make the living entities forget the Supreme Lord, so then it is called Mahamaya. But when it is employed in accordance to the will of the Lord and for the service of the Lord, so then it becomes Yogamaya. So these two coverings or these two like ways, like we can actually see this energy of the Lord. So and when it is happening here, the creation, maintenance, and destruction. So this is generally the external or the the Mahamaya potency, of the Lord, which is actually functioning. And so here the important aspect is, although he has nothing to do with these activities, so there's like there are certain things which the Lord likes to perform, and the Lord is meditating about that is considered to be the primary forms of meditation. And there are some things which are considered to be secondary. Even the terms of the names of the Lord. So when we see that the Lord's names as Yashodanandan or Parthasarathi and things like that, so this is all considered to be the primary names. And the Lord's names as Paramatma or Shrishtikarta and things like that. So this is all considered to be secondary names. So the secondary names can definitely purify the conditioned soul. It can actually award liberation and like that and all. So but then for the purpose of developing loving attachment towards the lotus feet of the Lord, so one has to absorb himself in the primary forms of the Lord and primary names of the Lord. So in Bhagavatam we see that both the Lord's pastimes with the material energy is also given, and the Lord's pastimes with the internal energy is also given. So most of the time we spend with which energy of the Lord? Material energy. We don't even know what is spiritual energy. So to some extent we have this one. So because we are dealing with material energy of the Lord, so studying the pastimes of the Lord in relation with the material energy of the Lord actually makes a lot of it actually helps the living entity to make progress. So in that way, so these pastimes are also very, very important. And if you see what happens is, when a conditioned soul, he's not purified yet, and then only way that he can purify is to engage in the angas of bhakti and without committing offense. Right? So when we see that the Lord performs activities in the material world, with the material energy, so this we can analytically study, and very hardly we have much scope for committing any offense. So when we study the Lord's pastimes with the internal potency, so it is quite a different mathematics altogether, or a different equation altogether. So it is very, very difficult for us to understand what's happening there. It is just like two, what is it? Maybe here no doctors are there, I think. So two expert doctors are discussing some complex case, and using all scientific jargons and things like that, biological jargons and things like that. तो हम लोग सुनेंगे तो क्या समझ में आएगा उसमें. So and that too, if those jargons match with the normal language that we use, so then we will understand something else only, So they are talking something else only, and we are understanding something else only. So the pastimes with the internal potency, so that may appear to be like ordinary dealings, Lord's friendship with Arjuna. It may appear to be ordinary dealing. तो दो दोस्त कैसा रहते हैं साथ में, वैसे रह रहे हैं लोग, and then कभी-कभी एक दूसरे को पैर खींच लेते हैं, and then sometimes they have some good time, fun time, they go to the forest for excursion and things like that. So it is by studying this, immediate understanding is we will try to map that with whatever we have experience of in this world. So immediate mapping udhar hota hai, and then the offenses, we start committing offenses, and then that devotional service doesn't produce the result of purification. So that is why it is very essential that Lord's pastimes with the internal potency has to be heard and has to be analyzed and heard from the liberated souls. Like Srila Prabhupada and Acharyas very kindly they have given and explained the meanings of the different things. Like for example, during Damodar month, we speak about so many things about Lord Damodar's pastime. So it is all by the mercy of the Acharyas. They have very clearly given out. This is how the Lord is thinking. This is how the things are happening. So now, if an expert preacher, ठीक है, आचार्य सोचे इतना सारा permutation combination, मैं भी कुछ सोचूंगा. Now I can also give some extra purport, like मुझे भी लग रहा है कि like भगवान ऐसे भी सोचे होंगे. So then it becomes a problem. There starts the offense, and then the whole act of speaking about Krishna. So it doesn't bear any fruit because it is aparadha yukta. So like here we see that is one reason that we need to study the Lord's pastimes with the external energy, because there is less chance of committing offenses, because this is an energy which we are to some extent we are used to, and then this one like that. So next is the next important aspect in this regard is that we are dealing with material energy. And to see that how this material energy is connected with the Supreme Lord is very, very essential. So because whatever we come in contact with, we can see that it is part and parcel of the Lord, and it is meant to be used in the service of the Lord. So our vision is perfect in that particular this one. So now when we deal with matter, we are dealing with matter only. And then all the time we study about only spirit. So not study about matter. So then what we will see about matter, ये तो like हमारा syllabus में है ही नहीं. So like so this we have to also see how the matter is. The origin of matter is from Krishna. So creation, maintenance, and destruction. So that is why this subject matter of creation, maintenance, and destruction becomes all the more very important for conditioned souls, like who are accustomed to only see matter. They have to now habituate themselves to see this matter. The origin of this matter is Supreme Lord. And this matter also should be utilized in the service of the Supreme Lord. So in that way also like this is very, very helpful, these sections of this ones. So undoubtedly the Lord's pastimes, the internal potency is higher in nature, and it can award higher destination in nature. So, but still this is also very, very important for us. That's how in such a great literature as Srimad Bhagavatam, so these things are incorporated. And our acharyas give other definition also. Like so these things also pertains to the Leela of the Lord. So like internal potency of the Lord. So that is like Acharya's vision, and also these shlokas also accommodate both the versions. So one is the Lord's pastimes with the external energy of the Lord. So that also can be described, and Lord's pastimes with the internal energy of the Lord also can be described. So because every aspect of Srimad Bhagavatam, it completely glorifies Krishna. So that is the potency of, or that is the greatness of this holy scripture. So now we will see from the perspective of a conditioned soul. So like how this is very, very essential for us. So all the great sages accept that Lord as the source of creation, maintenance, and destruction. So like this, whatever we see, this material world, so it is created by the Lord, it is maintained by the Lord, it is destructed by the Lord. So right now, we have the vision that it is probably like Lord would have created some things. So, but maximum creation in Bangalore is done by L&T and Prestige and things like that. And ज़्यादातर हम कुछ maintain करते हैं और कोई आके distract करके चले जाते हैं, things like that. So this is our material vision. This is how we see things. And whenever we see some things like we see that this so and so person has created, and it is created by Apple, or it's created by Nokia and things like that. So that kind of vision only is there. So but the vision has to come to like anything that we see. Immediately it should remind us that this is a product of Krishna's energy, and Krishna has orchestrated it. And you see like even though the skyscraper buildings or the modern gadgets and things like that, So all of them are creations of material energy, or creations of brains, of great people in this world. So what all things, this material energy is, it's an energy of Krishna, and Krishna tells, Mama Maya Duratyaya, my energy, no, you cannot manipulate my energy. So then how are these people manipulating, all this energy and creating wonderful things? So it is nothing but the material energy, or like material energy knows कि like this time पे ये चीज आना चाहिए, तो साइंटिस्ट को दिमाग घुमा के ऐसा बनाओ करके वही डिक्टेट कर रही है. So whatever is there within the permutation and combination of the material energy, that only a scientist can do. So this I was hearing one lecture on this one Shat Darshan. So like 6 different philosophies, and mostly they are atheistic philosophies, and the speaker was telling that no atheist can come up with a new atheistic philosophy which is not there in the Vedas. So any philosophy that has to come, it is already documented. No, इसी के अंदर से ही like निकालना पड़ेगा. So all permutation and combination is already there in the scriptures. So in that way we see that like all permutation and combination of material advancement and extreme degradation of materials, society, everything is already there, within the permutation and combination. It's only 3 modes of nature is there. उसको जितना combine करेंगे उतना ही होगा, उससे ज़्यादा कुछ नहीं कर सकते. So like in that way, this creation, maintenance and destruction, we should see that though a scientist may have created, though a big, wonderful architect may have designed something, so but all of them has to be seen, just but a spark of splendor of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, and the maintenance, what is happening, and the destruction, what is happening. So everything has to be seen, in connection with the Lord. So, like generally speaking, creation and maintenance still, like लोग समझ लेते हैं कि like भगवान का काम है. So when it comes to destruction, and when it comes to destruction of one's dear things, so then they find it very difficult. Why the Lord is so cruel? Why the Lord is not merciful and things like that. So, but the thing is, the complete understanding is the Lord is the source of creation, maintenance, and destruction. And in this connection, we always cherish Bhaktivinoda Thakur's the statement that if difficulties are coming, and if nothing can exist without or nothing can happen without the sanction of the Lord, and if distress comes, and if it is also sanctioned by the Supreme Lord, so then it is Mahaprasad, then the distress is my greatest happiness. So that's what Bhaktivinoda Thakur actually mentions. So this is the vision of a pure devotee in relation to the material happenings, material happenings of creation, maintenance, and destruction, or how it has to be taken. So that has to be analyzed. So a devotee has to analyze this particular aspect, how this particular action that is happening. So the Lord has His hand in it, how He is orchestrating this particular action. So a devotee has to meditate on that. A pure devotee, he sees naturally. A sadhaka, he tries to contemplate, the very same thing. So the difference between a pure devotee or a very accomplished devotee and a sadhaka is that what an accomplished devotee will normally do, like naturally do, the same thing a sadhaka, will try to do it as a matter of practice. Right? So like a very accomplished devotee will chant. Now what will a sadhaka do? He will also chant. Very accomplished devotee, he will take darshan of the Lord and attend morning program. Sadhaka also will attend morning program. There is no difference between this one. So a pure devotee or very exalted devotee, he will not waste even one single moment. He will continuously be engaged in the service of the Lord. What a sadhaka's goal is. He also wants to continuously be engaged in this, this one. In every day, he wants to plan in such a way that he wants to continuously engage in the service of the Lord. So, externally speaking, a perfected soul and a practicing soul, there is not much of difference. A perfected soul does it naturally, and a practicing, sadhaka, so he tries to do it, based on rules and regulations and systems and things like that. So that's the difference between these two. So we also have to learn how to see the creation, maintenance, and destruction of the Lord. So in the macro level and also in the micro level. So everywhere, it is continuously it is happening. So and they have to be seen, in the perspective of the Lord. So and also the next thing is, although he actually has nothing to do with these activities. So what the Lord has to do, what the Lord actually likes to do. So that next shloka is there, Ambrish Maharaj first time. Sadho Hridayam Mahyam. So like, this one, the sadhus constantly think of me and I constantly, remember them. And they don't have anything else apart from me. Like they don't want to do anything else apart from me and I don't have anything else apart from them. So then this material world is full of all material living entities, and what does Lord has to do with this material world? And that's what this, here shloka is also telling. That although he doesn't have anything to do with these activities, he has nothing to do with these activities. So, but still he performs. So this also there are multiple this one. So one is that the Lord's activities, which he personally desires and he personally likes to do, is activities in relation with his pure devotees. That's what the Lord actually likes to do, and that's what he performs. Right? And then how to see then activities in relation to the material this one. So why the Lord is so so much. He must have some affection towards material energy, right? So he is creating so many things in this material world and things like that. So what is to be deduced? Lord has so much of affection towards matter, that he is playing around with matter. So many, so much of universes he creates, and then in the universes, he creates so many planets, and then in the planets he creates, so many things like he creates, and then he comes and creates till the point of iPhone, everything. Itna kuch Bhagwan kyun kar raha hai? So already we discussed, it is not scientist who is doing it, is Lord who is doing it. So itna kuch Bhagwan kyun kar raha hai? It is for the living entity. It is for the living entity. So the Lord likes the living entity. The living entity is an eternal servant of the Lord. Even though, long back I heard in one lecture, one very funny story actually. So, in this one, what is that? In a highway, there are two people are there. So one person is digging a hole, another person is filling the hole. So and they keep on doing that. And then onlooker, he got crazy. What these people are doing. One person is digging, one person is closing, and so they went and asked, what is happening here? So then they told, actually we are three people. So one person is supposed to dig, another person is supposed to plant, and third person is supposed to close the pit, right? So हम लोग government servant है, हम लोग रोड के साइड पे पेड़ लगाने का हमारा काम है। आज सेकंड वाला बंदा एब्सेंट है, इसके लिए हम लोग रिलीजियसली हमारा काम करते जा रहे हैं। So it may be looking very funny, but Lord is literally doing the same thing actually. So it is, the Lord is the living entity is supposed to, living entity and the Supreme Lord has a loving relationship. The Lord is lovingly take care of the living entities, and the living entities lovingly serve the Supreme Lord. So in this, living entity has put absent. So he is not doing any service to the Supreme Lord. But the Lord continues. The Lord continues to take care of the living entity. Lord continues to serve the living entity. So this is the amazing aspect of the Supreme Lord. So, and for this reason, the Lord creates the whole universes, and Lord creates all the material things. So though it is nothing to do with Him, it is nothing to it doesn't have anything to offer to the Lord, but still the Lord creates all these things just because the living entity's desire is there. So in the material world, what happens, how the Lord actually acts, eko bahunam yogadadati kama. So whatever the living entities desire, the Supreme Lord keeps on trying to fulfill those things. He gives the processes. He gives karma yoga, jnana yoga, various different paths, and whatever you want, you perform these things, I will fulfill your desires and things like that. So in this way, the Lord has nothing to do with these activities, but still the Lord does because of affection for the living entities. And then another aspect, it is called as akarma. So or it is called as it's not considered to be an action that is performed by the Lord. So why it is not considered to be an action performed by the Lord? Because it is it doesn't have any reaction, towards the Supreme Lord. So like when we interact with the material energy, so we have we get impacted by the material energy. So in fact, we were discussing on taking one nice base, for our devotees, and then there are a lot of wonderful material amenities are there. So like when these material amenities are created in such a way, if we can utilize completely in Krishna's service, it is not a problem. Anything that exists, if it is completely utilized in Krishna's service, it is not a problem. So, but if it is not utilized in Krishna's service, then that particular material object will start inspiring. It will not keep quiet, neutrally like better nahi rahega. So it will start inspiring the living entity, for like material thoughts and material things and things like that. So in this connection, I think I heard one story of this one. One sadhu was performing great tapasya, and then I don't know where is the reference for the story, but somewhere I heard. So and then he like Indra, he gets alarmed, maybe possibly like he's aiming for my position. Tapasya karenge to like sab mil jayega. So like these days, we see that somebody is performing well in the office, or like then he may come to the bigger position like that. So in the same way, like not in the same way. This is like modern thing is completely wrong. So like when we perform tapasya, we get things. That is very important principle. So like this point, like Indra was feeling very this one disturbed. So then he came in the garb of a king, and then he came to the sadhu, and he told that I have to go for some special purpose. So like I cannot take my sword. You can just keep my sword and take care of the sword for some time. Like I'll come back and take it. And the sadhu he kept the sword on the wall, like he hanged it on the wall. And then after some time, like he started meditating, and like kabhi dekhta tha, and then slowly he started getting desire ki like thoda sa usko haath mein utha ke dekhenge, and then thoda usko chala ke dekhenge and things like that. So then eventually he became a kshatriya. So Indra just had to give a small diversion, and then usko dekh ke usko dimag pagal ho gaya. So in that way, like we should be sure that whatever material object we come in contact with, it should be utilized in the service of the Lord. So any material object which is not utilized in the bona fide service of the Lord, it is going to create some problem to us. So that is why any matter, anywhere it is there, it has to be properly utilized in the service of the Lord. So that's how it is. If money is there, it should be properly accounted. If it is any other object is there, everything should be properly utilized in the service of the Lord. So then it will not create any problem. So ma meve prapadyante maya metam tarantite. So it is not just we surrender. So like we utilize everything that is there in our capacity in the service of the Lord. So anything that is not utilized in the Lord, in the service of the Lord, so that is going to create a problem. And majorly like one thing, we can utilize everything in the service of the Lord. Like one thing is very difficult to utilize in the service of the Lord. All the time. What is that? Huh? Mind. तो हमारा अंदर ही है, and then अंदर से problem create कर देते हैं. So it is we have analyzed many times that why people generally like devotees in the ashram shift ashram and things like that. So it is mostly because थोड़ा सा time like 24 hours भगवान का सेवा करना है, like थोड़ा 5-10 minutes दे देंगे, like थोड़ा free time उसको छुट्टी थोड़ा दे देंगे. So ऐसा देना है तो like दूसरा आश्रम में रहना पड़ेगा. Like here we have come to an ashram where it is a walking on a razor's edge. इस तरफ जाएंगे प्रॉब्लम, उस तरफ जाएंगे प्रॉब्लम, like जो है like सीधा उसको पकड़ के जाना पड़ेगा. So but otherwise it is बहुत बड़ा खतरा है. Like because it is a difficult ashram. It is not an easy ashram. It's a difficult ashram. Like because all the time we have to remember the Supreme Lord. So because like we have given up karma, we have given up jnana, we have given up all other things, and we have taken up to bhakti. In fact, when Arjuna wanted to like renounce, Krishna is keep on convincing him, don't renounce. It is like not a joke. It is continue in your grahastha life. No, that is better. No, like what are different reasons he gives?
Sin to fight.
Huh?
Reason
Huh. No, first and foremost reason is that like you are so much affectionate towards your relatives, वो मर जाएंगे करके इतना रो रहा है, ना तुम तो संन्यास नहीं ले सकते ना, ठीक है, so इतना attachment है तुम relatives के ऊपर, so तुम तो संन्यास नहीं ले सकते. Then second is
then if you fight, then you'll get heavenly planets. If you fight, and like if you win also, if you
हाँ.
you'll get the kingdom, or if you get died.
No, that is a bit different angle. So why not to take sannyas? One is you are attached, you cannot take sannyas. So then Arjuna substantiates, no, I am not attached. So then
his mind was disturbed.
no.
You don't have the idea of the forest will fight.
हाँ. So you may have controlled your mind now. What if your mind starts thinking about sense objects later on? No. So like it is not about sannyas is not about like one time, or few days of renunciation. No, it is like lifelong renunciation. बाद में अगर sense gratificatory thought आएगा, तो उसको कैसा उसको fulfill करेंगे? उसको कैसा handle करेंगे? How will you handle that thought? Now to handle that thought, you need to have the varnashrama. This one. No, you need to have the you have to be there within the varnashrama or within the grahastha. That is when you will be able to fulfill that thought. So इसके लिए like even though you have controlled your mind, still continue. Continue अगर गलती से कुछ thought आया तो उसको संभाल सकते हैं. So otherwise if you take renunciation, then you cannot handle that thought. Then third is that Arjuna substantiate that no I am solid, मैं आपका पार्षद हूँ. So it is not that I will waver and things like that. So then after that Lord is telling that, see, all the people, pure people comes to Ranam Sashram only. Then who will set the example for the people who are conditioned? No, only people who are perfected, they only can set example. You stay there and you set example there. So as a karke again and again he is convincing Arjuna. So it is the second option, the second thing that he mentions is very, very important. That a person in the renounced ashram, if he gets the thought of sense gratification, it becomes difficult to handle the thought, right? So and only way we can actually handle that thought is constantly be engaged in the service of the Lord. So that is the only thing, only saving grace that we have. So we have to somehow or other keep ourselves constantly engaged in the service of the Lord. So that is how we can actually avoid this one. And for this reason, we have to be very, very vigilant. And for this reason, this ashram is very difficult. So grahastha ashram, no problem, because thoughts of sense gratification comes. Yeah, I have a legal way to fulfill the thought of sense gratification that has come to me. So, but in the renounced ashram, so there is no legal way to fulfill the thought of sense gratification, because sense gratification aane hi nahi chahiye. And so that is the whole problem with the renounced ashram. And people who are determined that somehow or other I will, even if I slacken here and there, again and again I'll reinforce my determination, and somehow or other I'll be engaged in the service of the Lord constantly. So that is very, very essential. So that such is the this one of such is the vrata of this particular ashram. And here we see that the Lord has nothing to do with these material activities. The Lord, though he deals with the matter, he doesn't get affected at all. He is completely immune to these things. So few reasons for that is that Lord, the material energy is subordinate to the Supreme Lord. The Lord, it can never overpower the Supreme Lord. That is not in the capacity of the material energy. So the living entity, he can either be there under the control of material energy, or he can be under the control of the spiritual energy. So this one, what is it? Either Radharani or Durga Devi. So only two areas we have, only two shelters we have. We don't have any third shelter. ऐसा नहीं कि I will not be a devotee and I am not a materialist. वो ही नहीं सकते. So if you are not a devotee, then either you should be a bhukti kami or Mukti Kami, or Siddhi Kami. No, only these three options that are there. So, or otherwise you are a devotee. No, you are like this. Nobody can say that no, I am not any of these kamis and I am not devotee also. No, ho hi nahi sakta. So because you have to be there under one of these categories, right? So like material for us when we come in contact with matter, when we deal with matter, so it is it affects us. No, it definitely affects us. But for Krishna, when he deals with matter, no, it doesn't affect us. It affect the Supreme Lord because he is the master of the material energy and it doesn't affect him. So, but then now we have to deal with matter. So then how to deal with matter? So we have to deal with matter only as much as the service permits. And now we are dealing with matter in terms of we are plucking flowers, that is matter. And then we are having many like altar, we are preparing a nice altar. And this book is made of earth, water, fire, air, ether. This is also matter. So, but we deal with those things, which are in relation with the Supreme Lord. So we don't deal with all the books, which are made of earth, water, fire, air, ether. We deal with only those books in which the Bhagavatam is printed or Bhagavad Gita is printed and things like that. So then this becomes not different from spirit, So then we deal with them, And flowers only for the purpose of offering to the Lord. Not for any Mataji, So then the same flower will create havoc in the whole system, So like in that way we see that like matter should be utilized in the service of the Lord. Till the time it is used like that, it will act like spirit, But when matter is utilized in the service, in the material things, so then the same matter it becomes like Khatarnak actually. They starts creating so much of problem. So in one lecture I was hearing that this one before independence, so like there was government staffs were there, so in post office and things like that and all. So they were doing their work. They have to collect the mails and they have to put some stamps and things like that, and they have to forward and things like that. After independence, also the same staff remained and the same work remained. So, but only the chapa changed from British Raj to Indian Raj, Bharat Raj. So, like rest everything, all the operations, everything, remained the same. So, in the same way, before becoming Krishna conscious, we deal with matter, and after becoming Krishna conscious also, we have to deal with matter because we cannot perceive anything apart from matter. So then, only thing difference is before chapa was I like this because of that I want it. And now the chapa is Krishna likes it and I want to use it for Krishna's service. So like that is the difference between these two things. So like this aspect of the Lord is not affected by these activities, or Lord doesn't have anything to do with these activities. That is very, very essential. So one thing which we often discuss in this relation is that when something bad happens to us, so मैंने इतना कुछ किया भगवान के लिए, भगवान ने मुझे धोखा दे दिया, So that is like a wrong kind of an understanding. So like Lord has nothing to do with these material activities. If at all we see that Lord is engaged in some material activities, some material dealings, so then we should understand that it is out of His own causeless mercy for a transcendental purpose He is actually engaged in these activities. So this was a question asked by Parikshit Maharaj in the 7th canto, that why is the Lord taking sides of the demigods and killing demons? ये तो material family property issue चल रहा है. Whom does the heavenly planets belong to? What does the Lord have to do with all these things? He's a transcendental person. Why is he getting involved in some family matters in the material world? And then भाई का झगड़ा है, उसमें एक भाई का side लिया और दूसरा भाई को मार दिया. So like, why does the Lord does all these things? So then Shukadeva Goswami gives proper perspective. ये भगवान का कुछ मतलब नहीं है ये फैमिली फाइट में, प्रॉपर्टी फाइट में. So like the demons want to like see the Lord as an enemy. The Lord says fine, कम से कम ऐसे तो मुझे देखो, purify हो जाएंगे. And then the demigods want to see the Lord saying that हमारा प्रॉपर्टी चला गया, like प्रॉपर्टी वापस लेके आइए, हमारा तरफ से लड़िए, And then the Lord says, fine, in this way only you will meditate upon me, like I'll come. कैसे भी करके मेरे ऊपर ध्यान लगाओ और liberate हो जाओ. So the Lord is thinking in that way, and He is actually acting. So even though the Lord may have taken part in the material dealings, what does the Lord has to do with even the fight of Kurukshetra, no? Like war of Kurukshetra, like Pandavas and Kauravas, like again the same thing, भाई भाई का बीच में like property issue है, so that is अभी भी चल रहा है, तब भी चल रहा था, so अभी कोर्ट में जाके लड़ रहे हैं, उधर कुरुक्षेत्र में जाके लड़े थे, no? So family issues, material family issues, why the Lord is getting involved? So many court cases are happening, so many people are fighting for their property. So Lord is not getting involved in those things. And either Lord got involved. Why? Because the devotees are there. So here the devotees are there, and the devotees are dependent upon the Supreme Lord. And when an exalted devotees are put into trouble, then the Lord comes and he performs his pastimes. Normal people, what they will think, अरे ये तो politician है, and then कितना सारा चीजें use किया, गलत tricks use किया, fight जीतने के लिए, and things like that. So many things, they may actually accuse the Lord, but he doesn't have anything to do with these activities. He has nothing to do with these activities. Janma karma cha me divyam evam yo veti tattvata tattva jayam puna janma naiti mamati swarajana. So like a pure devotee, like when he sees the Lord's activities, seemingly a material activity is happening, so still he will see that kuch to purpose hoga, transcendental purpose hoga. Like what I am able to see is only the material portion of it, but Lord must have some other purpose, to act over there. So in this connection, Nityananda Prabhu has mentioned that even if Nityananda Prabhu is seen to propose some girl, like will you marry me and things like that, or he seemed to enter into some like wine shop or something like that. So you should understand, it is for the purpose of preaching only, and it is not that for the purpose of material vision. We cannot actually see and analyze and things like that. So this is not about the current day Nityananda, it is about 500. So when he does all these things, we have to catch him and put him in the jail. So this is like 500 years before, when the Supreme Lord invented us, Nityananda Prabhu. So that, this one I am talking about. So so then we see that he is, his activities are beyond all these things, and his creation, maintenance and destructions, it is completely transcendental, and therefore the Lord is called as unlimited, Ananta. So Lord's activities are unlimited. There is unlimited universes are there. There is unlimited, universes are created, maintained and destroyed, and within each universe, there are unlimited, levels of creation are there. So we have a broad category of, sarga, visarga and things like that and all. So, but if you analyze, there are, in every level, there is multiple levels are there. So, Lord creates, maintains and destroys, at different levels in this creation. And then, we also see that, every single day, there is, the cell is getting created and destroyed and things like that. So, even this is also part of the entire, this one, how the universes are created and destroyed at a macro level. At a minute level, we see that the cells are also getting created and destroyed and things like that. So in that way, this is constant activity, and it's an unlimited activity that is happening. So we cannot even imagine what is the extent of Lord's pastimes. It's unlimited. And although the Lord in his incarnation as Sesha, so it's a very amazing name for the Lord. Sesha means what is the meaning?
Remaining.
Remaining. And another meaning is Antilila is also called as Sheshalila. Last. जिसको कुछ शेष नहीं होता है उसका नाम शेष है वो भी है. And then remaining is also some this one is there, but I don't remember of the exact description of the Lord in with the meaning of remaining. So that is also there. Some meaning is there, in that sense also. So Lord, although the Lord is in his incarnation as Sesha, holds all universes, and unto his hoods, each universe feels no heavier than a mustard seed to him. So the Lord, he doesn't feel any pressure at all, to hold all the universes. So, but then Lord feels anything heavy. Anytime he feels anything heavy.
The love of the devotees.
Love of the devotees, or when the devotees, when his dear devotees are going through some difficult times and things like that. So then, those things the Lord actually feels. And anything you feel, anything you can deduce from the discussion between Haridas Thakur and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Lord feels heavy about something. Humility and devotee, yeah, like that is also, that is another thing. So but in the discussion of Haridas Thakur and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu,
If a person is ungrateful, that's
He asked how will the living entities be delivered.
So this, Haridas Thakur actually takes it as, this is a burden, the Lord has to unload. So, to deliver the living entities from this material clutches, that is something, which the Lord feels. Lord can actually have anything, as heavy as the universe is and the whole of material creation, and He is Param Dharma. In fact, whole of material and spiritual creation, everything is rests upon Him. Everything rests upon Him, right? So there is nothing that is not apart from the Supreme Lord. So, but still, the Lord actually feels, this particular aspect. My dear living entities, my parts and parcels, they are actually struggling in this material world. And seeing that, the Lord feels compassion and He wants, this thing to happen, that, these living entities be liberated. And that also creates a very nice service opportunity for all the devotees, that we can be engaged in the service of assisting the Lord in liberating all the souls, by the way of giving an exposure to the holy name, exposure to the prasadam, and exposure to the transcendental books. So that is something that we try to do, and try to free the burden of the Supreme Lord. So this is a loving burden, that the Lord has. So, and we all try to work towards that particular end. And therefore, what person desiring perfection will not worship the Lord? So this desiring perfection, this is actually a very nice point. Recently I had posted in the Brahmachari groups that the perfection, so there are different kinds of perfection is there. So, which is called as Purushartha. Purushartha means Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha, and then Prema. These are all different Purusharthas, which is there. If you want to have the Purushartha of material advancement, so the ideal system is that one has to execute the karma kanda, this one's varna and ashrama duties. So right now we see that, but practically we see that if I study nicely and if I get a good job and then I perform well in the job, then I get paid and I can make material advancement. That's what is the formula I'm able to see practically. Right? So then all the people who are studying, all the people who are getting into job, so then they should be able to demonstrate that. Only few people are able to demonstrate material advancement. Right? So that means this is not a foolproof process. This is not a process that you can document saying if you do these steps, you have to be materially flourishing. We cannot say that. So everybody who studies in the school, everybody who does you should define a step A, B, C, D, and if somebody does that, he should be able to get material advancement. So that we cannot do. So it is just that people have performed proper varnashrama duties in the past and they have got some pious credits and they are doing these steps of studying and going to the job and things like that. Usko acha ye kar raha hai. And then people have made this as this one. That is a foolish this one of the material advancement or material civilization, that they have made some external procedures as formula for material advancement, and people are trying to work through that formula, and many people are getting frustrated. Many people are getting frustrated. So we see that the proper process is that one has to execute varna and ashrama duties, and through that way he has to accumulate piety, and when he accumulates piety, then he will be able to make material advancement. So that is this one. So Vidwan was mentioning this particular point, that sabse foolish kya hai? If we want to have nice material advancement, go to the job, earn and maintain yourself. That's the sabse foolish thing. And little more intelligent than that is, go to a demigod and apply the 6 sanghas of surrender and then full time worship the demigod. And feel that, have faith that the demigod will take care of you, and he will award whatever is needed to you. So that is little more intelligent. And little more intelligent than that is go to Supreme Lord Vishnu and like offer the 6 angas of surrender, and then like have faith that the Lord will fulfill your material desires. And then even more intelligent than that is go to the Supreme Lord, offer 6 angas of surrender, and don't aspire anything material. So like that is the highest intelligence. This is how he was defining. So like we can see that the materialistic people of the modern day is the most like unintelligent kind of operation they are doing, because they are following some process which is like which is foolish. It is not foolproof. It is actually foolish. Because everybody who follows the process cannot get the result, what they are aspiring for. So few people will get in that, and 5% of people will get the material advancement, and 95% of people, what they will get? Frustration. It's like guarantee. Frustration guarantee. So and people actually go through the same process again and again. So the perfection means, like in the Vedic system, it is very clear. You choose your perfection. What perfection you want? You want material advancement, dharma, artha, kama. You want moksha, or you want prema. You choose what you want. And after you choose that, then what you are supposed to do, that has been prescribed. Okay, if you select prema, so then you have to only be engaged in 64 angas of bhakti. So if you select moksha, then for few thousands of years you have to perform jnana yoga system. If you want material sense gratification, standard of material sense gratification means go to heavenly planets and enjoy. Don't have the idea of like I'll do some tweaking and enjoy this material world in this bhuloka. That's like complete foolish. That is not there in the list only. So like material enjoyment means go to the heavenly planets, and the sweat will be like like scent, and like what is that? Everything, it is so nice. Like everything is nice. No old age, nothing like old age and death just comes. Just a little bit, it just comes and goes, that's all. So maximum period is only youth, So eternally youth preaching कर सकता है. मतलब youth preaching नहीं चलता है, only sense gratification. So and that is a place of enjoyment, sense gratification. Like करना है तो उधर जाके करना है, It is not that. So like this, actually speaking, this Bhuloka and especially the Bharatavarsha is designed for tapasya. And इधर आके सेंस ग्रेटिफिकेशन करेंगे तो फ्रस्ट्रेशन ही फ्रस्ट्रेशन होगा. So this, we have come to a place of tapasya. We should simply do tapasya. That's all. So we should not do anything else apart from that. Anything else, if we try to do in this land of tapasya, it is going to be frustration only. Like later we will see in the, I think 5.18.8. We will see that. 5.18.8 is not 5.18.8. There is later we will see that. In the Bharatavarsha, so Naranaran Rishi and Narad Muni, so Narad, like how Lord Shiva is offering prayers, in the same way Narad Muni will offer prayers to Naranaran Rishi. Here the predominating deity is Sankarshana and the devotee worshipping is Lord Shiva. So like there, in the Bharatavarsha, so the predominating deity is Naranaran Rishi and the worshipper is Narada. So and the prayers that he will offer, things like that, it will be very clear that this tract of land is meant for tapasya only, and only tapasya has to be performed. So, like anybody tries to enjoy sense gratification, he has to be thoroughly frustrated. There's no way that he can enjoy actually. So, in that way, like people who want to do sense gratification also, this is a very nice place. You perform tapasya, definitely next life you will get heavenly plans. You can go there and enjoy it. So, you come to the right place. This is a place for earning. Just like a person who wants to become a doctor, who wants to become a lawyer, who wants to become a millionaire, everybody goes to school. Like, shayad se like, who wants to become a millionaire, he will not go to school. So the rest everybody will go to school. So like, this way like everybody goes to school. In the same way, everybody has to perform tapasya, to get the results. Even a person who wants sense gratification, he has to do tapasya. Person wants moksha, he has to do tapasya. A person who wants to go back to Godhead, he has to do tapasya. And this is the land of tapasya. So, like, whatever may be the reason, akama sarvakama moksha kama dharati tivrena bhakti yogene jeta purusham param. So, like, other processes you don't know much, so better do bhakti only. So, and whatever may be the reason, so only one, this one, like, to do list is like only one thing. you have to do only Tirva Bhakti, so that has been prescribed. So, but with a star mark, that by the time you finish the process, you will get what you want, but then you lose the desire to enjoy it. So that is the situation in Kali Yuga. Anyways, so we'll stop here. We didn't go to the purport. Any questions, comments we can take for 5 minutes? Yes.
Krishna Krishna. Thank you for such nice class. So there are 3 diseases: bhakti, mukti, and kama, other than devotees. So this thing that I want peaceful mind. So in the, just clarification. So peaceful mind means basically aspiring for mukti.
Yeah, it's kind of resemblance of mukti. Also, like it can happen in the this one also, like those who follow varnashrama in the karma, this one. So they also, to great extent, they attain peace. Like their karma, their desires, all their desires can be legitimately fulfilled, and they also like, when to the like normal peace, what people are looking for in this world, it is basically like, whatever they desire and whatever they want, everything be fulfilled and things like that. So that is possible, like if they follow their natures, and based on their nature, if they are engaged in some proper activities and things like that, along with Krishna consciousness, so they can attain whatever peace they are looking for. So, but the peace, what is spoken about in the state of this one, the common people in this world, they don't even know the definition of that peace. Like the peace beyond the 3 modes of nature, that they don't even know that definition. So what peace they are looking for is that, like if we properly engage them in bhakti a little bit, and then ask them to follow the karma yoga principles of engagement according to their nature, they'll say, "Yeah, each chahiye." So, like that.
Thank you, Prabhuji, for a wonderful class. Prabhuji, I have one doubt, like people who are in heavenly planet that is designed for doing a sense gratification, and they have all the facilities to do a sense gratification. But here we say this is tapabhumi. So, but for doing tapasya also is like austerity because so much sense objects are there.
Mm-hmm.
So how we claiming it like tapabhumi?
Sense objects will be there everywhere, but then like there is possibility of doing tapasya here. So, like you can think of setting up a brahmacharya ashram. So you cannot think of doing that in the heavenly planets. So हम क्यों है उधर जाके किसी ब्रह्मचर्य आश्रम सेटअप नहीं कर रहा, तो यही problem है. So we can think of doing all these things here, but it is very difficult to do that. So in lower planetary systems, Patala and things like that, they are also places of sense gratification. You will see that subterranean heavenly planets. It is very, very difficult there. So even in this Jambudvip also, the other varshas which are there, even there are also places of sense gratification. Only the whole of the universe, only the Bharata Varsha is a place for tapasya. So that's how we are even able to think of chanting 16 rounds, following regulative principles and all these things, thoda bahut preach kar sakte hain and things like that. We are able to do that, Even in this Kali Yuga, you can imagine the other yugas like Satya Yuga and all, how it will be. In Kali Yuga, we are attempting to follow some process, it is very, very, very amazing actually. It's a place of tapasya.
So but there also they do like reading scriptures of Lord.
They do, but for the purpose of this one, sense gratification. That is very clear. Very clear. Everybody has to perform devotional service. There is no exemption of performance of devotional service. So everybody must perform devotional service. So like if you go higher than heavenly planets, like you have the Mahaloka, Tapaloka, Janaloka, so there again it is regions of tapasya and things like that. So, but heavenly planets is fine-tuned for like sense gratification. If you want to do tapasya, that's why many times we see that like even this people, they come to earthly planet to do tapasya. So like they come to earthly planet to do tapasya and then they go back. So like that. So this is very well known as a tapobhumi, like that. So even if sometimes they may do there also, but then if they want to really seriously do, they will come here and do. That's it. Brahmaji also, like, there are many spots, like we see that Brahma came and performed tapasya, and Indradev came and performed tapasya and things like that, and also we hear that. So like sometimes we may think like, no, arey, like, uske paas aur bhi acha jagah hai, like, no, why they come here to do tapasya? Because this is the reason. This aptly situated for tapasya.
But Hiranyakashipu, he did tapasya in gold.
I don't know. Like here also, Ahobilam, they tell that this is the place where he performed, and many different places they actually mention. And Satyayuga, like it is, that time is also very different kind of a time. And he's he performed tapasya, but for the purpose of sense gratification. Very, very clear.
So like when people, when they go, so they will stick to their, like, they go to his heavenly planet, then this.
Yeah, they perform the prescribed duties over there. They are dharmic. They are quite dharmic. In the heavenly planets, the residents of heavenly planets are quite dharmic. They are not unreasonably exploiting sense gratification. So they have earned it, and they are just like, whatever they want, they have already defined it, and they have worked for it. Like जो जितना कमाया वो पैसा से like holiday trip enjoy कर रहे हैं. ऐसा नहीं कि दूसरों का पैसा चोरी करके like enjoy कर रहे हैं. So they have earned for it. So when they do that kind of this one, that's not considered to be sinful. That they have earned it. They have performed the pious with this ones. So like materially it is not considered to be sinful. And so there also they perform the varnashrama duties, continue to perform varnashrama duties. So and then they make further elevation. Like because he performed tapasya towards, he executed the 6 angas of surrender and to a demigod, Brahma. So because of that, like his heart purification did not happen. So but the same kind of a thing, if somebody were to do towards Vishnu, so then his heart would have got purified. So that is why Sakama Bhakti is very, very powerful. Sakama Bhakti is also very powerful. If somebody subscribed to 64 angas of Bhakti throughout the day, like Dhruva Maharaj did, that's the example Acharyas give as example for Sakama Bhakti. So when Sakama Bhakti is performed 24/7, so like it also has the power of purifying the heart completely. And by the time he got like he says like Swami Kritasaham Varam Nayats, I don't want any boon now. So it is like completely purifying. Bhakti is completely purifying. Yes, Paul.
So for doing this tapasya, the place or the desha is important. Means it holds it. How much this is true for doing sadhana bhakti?
Sadhana Bhakti also, like, see, right now, when we are affected by the material things, so we have to see that how much we can reduce the effect. We always give the example of this one. If you want to learn driving a 4-wheeler, so will you choose Chickpet Market or like a ACS ground? These are 2 options. What will you choose? Obviously, you choose the empty ground. Because first of all, like I have to deal with when to apply clutch, when to apply brake, and all those things. And why should I deal with few more parameters of narrow lanes and irregulated traffic and things like that, right? So in the same way, like the environment is very essential. So because we are materially conditioned, so how much ever material parameters we make it static, that is quite good for us. So now, like living in an ashram or living in a family, like where people are Krishna conscious and things like that. So it is good. The environment is good. Like everything over there is going to remind us of Krishna. So, but practicing Krishna consciousness, going to mall and things like that and all. So it is quite difficult. The environment is not that great. Even if we have to go there, We have to go for the purpose of distribution of books, and then जब तक बैटरी खत्म नहीं होती तो उसके पहले वापस आ जाना चाहिए. एक बार बैटरी खत्म हो गया तो लाइक उधर ही सेटल हो जाएंगे. So जब तक भगवान का याद है, नो, इसके मतलब कबड्डी कबड्डी चल रहा है. भगवान का याद नहीं आ रहा है मतलब तुरंत भाग के वापस आ जाना चाहिए. नहीं तो माया देवी पकड़ के लेके ये आउट कर देंगे. So like we need to charge and go out briefly, to like this one, remembering the Lord, remembering the points that we have discussed in the class, and remembering the Krishna conscious subjects. So we go out and preach and come back. So like that. So and more you become advanced, more you become like solid. You yourself become powerhouse. Rather than you keep charging and you yourself become powerhouse, then you can travel and preach. That's what sannyasis are supposed to do. So sannyasis, by the time you reach the stage of sannyas, you are expected to become a powerhouse, where you don't require charging. So जिधर भी जाते आप charging करके आते हैं, so like that. So that's why they travel and preach. So for brahmacharis, it's not advice. Brahmacharis are supposed to keep charging and like preaching. Charging and preaching, like they are like only charging, only preaching. So they don't need to charge themselves. Because they are this one, that is what is expected out of a sannyasi, because naturally like anything and everything they see, like they get reminded of Krishna, and their charging keeps happening continuously.
Automatic mode.
Auto charging हमेशा they are in touch with Krishna. For a certain combination, we can be in touch with Krishna, and certain other combinations like we cannot be in touch with Krishna. So that becomes a problem. और चार्जिंग का थोड़ा कंडीशंस है. So इसके लिए environment is very essential in the beginning. So later stages, any environment, it can be handled, but beginning stages, environment is very much essential.
And in terms of like we see places just means like Naimisharanya, people go there and do tapasya. Similarly for bhakti, like we have dhams and all. So
Yeah, so wherever, see, like these places in mode of goodness was chosen in the past. So Prabhupada writes also in that in one of the purports that itself is not sufficient for devotion. So wherever devotees are residing and wherever there is opportunity to render devotional services there, and wherever we can remember the Lord nicely or chant nicely and study nicely and things like that. So that is the place which is apt an environment for devotees to stay. Okay? So dhams are in general, they are good in terms of their natural propensity, but also in Kali Yuga dhams are polluted by especially like sometimes because of ISKCON itself. Like they glorify the dham so much, and anybody and everybody goes and stays there and starts real estate business and this and that, and kuch Babaji log dusra business chalu kar dete, and all these things keeps happening. So then dhams also have to be like, one has to be cautious. So whether it be dham or a city, it doesn't matter. One has to have an association or an environment which is conducive to remember Krishna, conducive to chant, conducive to practice. So if there is a bona fide service of the Lord is there, so where we can engage ourselves, so then that is nicer place to actually stay. Grantha Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Gaur Bhaktivinoda ki jai, Shri Prabhupada ki jai.